Item 10D, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an amendment to the maintenance contract with West Valley Construction to increase the contract amount by $60,000 for urgent repair of water and wastewater facilities.
Honorable Mayor, Council members, I have with me Robert Howard, who is the Deputy for Operation and Maintenance, to help me with any question that you might have. As water provider and sewer collection agency, the city must rapidly respond to any service disruption, including water breaks or sanitary overflows. The city also must quickly repair any known defect that could lead to a leak or a SSO. For a responsible management of the system, in all cases, the service manager has to balance between the ongoing need for proactive maintenance and urgent response need, relying on a sustainable internal workforce. To be able to manage the peak demands with the available resources, the department must rely on available external support. To assist in this effort, in 2007, the city entered in a one-year contract with West Valley Construction with the option to extend that contract 4 times, each time with 1 year, for up to $175,000 yearly contract limit. The most recent extension was issued in January of this year. This was the 3rd extension to this contract. Our department started a process to develop a new request for proposal, knowing the increased need to proactively repair the problem areas and to respond to breaks and SSOs. Unfortunately, our effort was unsuccessful and no bid proposal was received by the city. In meantime, working on this process and going out for a bid, managing the need for a more aggressive, proactive approach to prevent the number of SSOs, performing numerous urgent repairs to sewer mains and laterals, the yearly limit has been reached. As the result of our aggressive approach to prevent SSO, the result of that effort is already seen. Our number of SSO was much lower this year versus the same time period of last year. In order for us to be able to respond for the remaining time period up till the end of this year to urgent needs as water breaks or imminent SSOs between now and the end of this year, is our request is for you to approve to increase this yearly contract amount with $60,000. This increased dollar amount will be funded through Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund, which already was approved in our operation budget for sewer and water. Will be $30,000 for sewer and $30,000 approved for water enterprise. It is our intent to come back later with a new contract proposal and to propose to award a new contract for your consideration later in this year or in the beginning of next year. I am standing for any question, and Robert is here to help me.
I'm just curious, if you can just sort of elaborate on the accounting of all of these various projects. So we have a detailed expense or a detailed accounting of each occurrence that West Valley or the contract service goes out to for every project? Because I mean, you explained that there are many small projects and then there are obviously larger projects too. So.
Yes, I have here the copy of today. Our total expenses, contract expense for West Valley is $171,000. The biggest dollar amount, and that's what really pushed our expense level much over last year budget, was the work done on Montgomery and Fleetwood. Those were imminent SSO concerns, and the department had to act and to prevent the damage and the ongoing sewer overflow, and to repair the main and also the laterals on Montgomery. The total dollar for the work on Montgomery is close to $90,000. Basically, only just that work effort alone is more than the $60,000, basically what I am asking you to approve for this, in addition for this year.
Now, and does each occurrence bring a city staff person out, you know, as far as to manage the project or to oversee what's going on? To some
Absolutely,
extent?
like in this case, when this, some of these projects are starting as a small project, not knowing what the end result will be. In many instances, this is also a exploratory type of work that in the beginning, the assumption was that is a smaller repair will be enough to address the problem on Montgomery. And basically, this, based on the field investigation, the problem wasn't solved, and more investigation needed to take place. And based on the investigation, additional work effort needed to take place. And yes, during all this effort, our staff coordinated the work, basically supervised and oversees the work itself.
Yeah. So basically, this is just a time and materials arrangement with West Valley, because they can't obviously bid on anything. They can't say we've budgeted $175,000 a year, and if we get under that, that's fine. But we've seen that we don't.
This the existing contract with West Valley is time and material. That's how is the contract signed, the existing contract right now. I didn't mention that based on our 3 years, 4 years experience with this contractor, the department was very pleased with the timeliness, availability, the quality of the work done by this contractor. And in many instances, the department had the opportunity to compare their price and their cost with other proposals. And always, so far, without any exception, what I am aware of, their cost was lower than any other proposed estimate. Our new contract, which is I was referring to before, will be structured, is intended to be structured differently, not on time and material, but basically to bid out certain work efforts, and they will make proposal based on that specifically described work effort, and the contract will be structured differently than how it is now.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Rico?
A couple questions to help me better understand as well. You're saying West Valley assists in water breaks and SSOs, correct?
Or urgent repair, which would result on a SSO or a break, depending on the situation.
So you can do cleanouts, and do they do some of that as well, and in addition to responding at weekends or odd hours?
in some instances, when our own employee are engaged in a certain type of work which they cannot discontinue, and that something needs to be done on a urgent basis, then will be always the service manager call or decision how the work needed to be done at that time, and the next day to have enough crew available to do whatever work needs to be done the next day. Then he will make the decision accordingly.
So are they called out after hours or on the weekends to service this community?
First, always, the first call out will be our own employee. If for some reason they are already out on another job, or they just went home from a job, and the service manager considers that in order for them to be able to come back the next day and to work the 8 hour on an important job, then maybe he will make the decision not to call back the crew, but to ask West Valley to do the job.
So I'm just wanting to clarify that you don't believe that we'd have our crew coming out that we're on standby for call out, and then again, then we have West Valley that comes in right after them on the same particular situation, or is that possible? That we could have both an employee as well as West Valley at the same situation?
In some situation, the answer is yes. Like was a big break at Crystal Spring, if I remember right. Basically, our own crew needed some additional support, and basically in some situation, depending on the size of the job itself, is I think in certain situations, yes, that can happen.
And it's something major, but in something minor that we get a call from a resident, they say the sewers are flowed or something, we're not having staff, and then having West Valley all show up, or in that?
Always will be a one-by-one decision on the service manager, and he will program and will call out our own crew, the standby crew, which is in place, if that is possible and desirable.
Thank you. You were saying we are lower in the SSOs?
You are absolutely correct.
From last year at this point to this year at this point, and what is that number? What are we lower by?
Based on my latest information, but then just before the meeting, last year during the same time of period, the city had 18 SSO, and right now the number is 12. But I started to question a little bit if my information is correct. But I would guess that is 30. It's very close, the number, even if it's, let's say, 1 or 2 difference. But last year was 18, the same time period, and this year 12. And as you know very well, in the last 3 years, each year our number of SSO went down.
With the same amount, pretty much the same staff in the field. As far as our maintenance workers and others, we've been able to have decrease within the SSOs.
With a very concerned, very concentrated, focused, proactive management implementation. Were many changes already implemented, and training, reassignment of the existing crew, more proactive maintenance, and very strong focus on spot repair to prevent imminent SSOs based on our inspection of the system.
You had said that there's a more aggressive approach, which obviously has utilized the monies for the contract for both labor as well as material. So could you help clarify what is the more aggressive approach that has utilized the monies that were allocated under that contract, and now there's a need for more to continue that? aggressive approach? And can you help me understand when you say, so what, what is more the aggressive approach that is necessitating the additional $60,000 on this contract?
Based on our information from video inspection, then the city, the department is targeting those very critical problem area to fix the problem before that will cause SSO. One of the situation was on Trenton last year. This year is another situation on Fleetwood, Montgomery. With those intervention, the city was able to prevent number of SSOs, and also the department already has a implemented process maintaining the letterers, and already implemented a ongoing preventive program in order for us to reduce the number of SSO. The department developed a SSO reduction plan, and that SSO reduction plan was implemented 80%, Robert. The SSO reduction plan was probably implemented 80% of the recommendation of the SSO reduction plan was implemented was today.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Michael?
So would it be fair to say that even though the number of SSOs is going down, the number of incidents that could have led to an SSO are not necessarily going down, and in fact, it's our ability to address situations that could potentially lead to SSOs that has improved, and that's why we have less reportable SSOs?
Okay, that hurt my head.
Certainly, even if it sounds strange, but you are absolutely right. That the number of SSOs are going down, but number of identifying problem area are increasing based on the level of increased knowledge gained from our system. You approved 3 years ago a program to video inspect all of our sewer system, and based on the result of that video inspection, now is available to us the number, the locations, and the problem area, and basically set a expectation also for us to program and to plan how to fix those problem area. And that's the reason why you very graciously you approved an increase of the spot repair program in our operational budget, actually increasing to 425 versus the prior years, accepting that fact for that increased need level.
Okay. So given that we have an understanding now of a certain burn rate that we have on these contract hours to address the issues as they pop up, do we expect this same burn rate to continue over the next 3 to 5 years?
Yes, was our intent when the department went out with this newly structured contract with a different way of approaching things. Our proposed contract limit was $450,000 for a year.
And at this point, do we anticipate at some point will our proactive efforts to replace the infrastructure catch up to the point where we need to spend less on reactionary contracts to repair what's broken versus just investing proactively?
Absolutely. Probably will be a crossing point between those two, And I really hope that during our discussion as part of the sewer master plan, you will have ample opportunity to really discuss this and to set policy priority as part of the sewer management plan.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Action by the council?
I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Salazar.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.